Welcome to Live, Work, Stay with Billy Kay. Today we have with us Bill Prokop, the city manager of Beaufort, who's going to talk about the unfolding of the long-awaited Boundary Street redevelopment project. And we'll have also Bonnie Hargrove, who's going to share with us some of the many exciting things that are happening at the USCB Center for the Arts and some of the challenges ahead, because they too have to have a capital campaign to make the facility the best it can be for shows that are produced here, shows that visit here, and other groups that want to use the facility because it's the hub of arts in northern Beaufort County. Good morning. Today I have with me City Manager Bill Prokop, and we're going to talk about, in this segment, a number of issues that we're going to be looking at in 2016. Probably the single largest capital project in the history of our 300-year-old town is the redevelopment of Boundary Street project. Welcome, Bill.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Boundary Street is beginning in January for up to 2 years going to see a total new facelift, which will focus first on safety, second on environmental concerns, and thirdly on making an appropriate, not anywhere USA entrance to our historic city. Bill, do you want to give us an overview of the Boundary Street project?
Yeah, the project will start January 4th. It will have two major components. One is going to, well, I should say three components. One will be the duct bank, which will put all of our wiring and utilities underground. Two would be the road construction itself, of making it the streetscape a more friendly, welcoming environment. And third is going to be a secondary road that will be able to divert traffic over to the back, off of Boundary Street and coming out onto Green Lawn.
Right. For those who have not followed this project for its 9 years in planning and 4 years in cobbling together federal dollars, city dollars, county tax dollars, this project will run from Inlet Road, which is just west of the new McDonald's on Boundary Street, and come up to essentially to City Hall. Technically Green Lawn Drive, but the rest is already in place. It's going to be a challenging project, not just for the contractors, for the people, but we've made a number of precautions. Bill has a senior project manager who's on it 24/7. And let's talk, Bill, a little bit about how the process will go and how we keep the public informed through this process.
Well, I think, first of all, the process started about 2 weeks ago when we had a kickoff meeting of all the subcontractors and all of the necessary county, city, and state personnel there. And this included EMS, fire department, police department, sheriff's office, dispatch, so that we can make sure that safety, as the mayor said, is #1 priority. That in case of an emergency, there's a way to be able to access whatever we have to do. But from that meeting, all of the contractors had a discussion and meeting for a full day as to who is doing what, where, and when. And the next session right now is we're going around and meeting with the various property owners to, again, clarify what's going to happen when construction's going to be in their area. And the next area of the process is we will be putting up a Facebook page, or have a Facebook page, a website, and every Friday afternoon from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock there'll be an open house in the city, in City Hall, where people can come in and ask questions, et cetera, about what's going on and what's the status of the project.
And how it will affect their business.
How it will affect their business.
I think there's one piece of misunderstanding, I won't say misinformation, but misunderstanding about the Boundary Street project. And that is that will continue to be 2 lanes going each way, and that during daylight hours there will be 4 lanes open at all periods of time. So those who are going to work or coming home from work should not have to worry about it. A lot of the work, which costs money, but is the best and safest way to do it, a lot of the work when they close a lane or they close 2 lanes, still allowing traffic to come through, will be done in the evenings.
Correct.
A huge portion of this project in dollars and in amount of work is, as Bill referenced, the duct bank. And that is to put every power line, every cable line, every telephone line, and any other kind of line we're finding on those poles to get them underground. A lot of reasons for this. One, it's a lower maintenance cost. Two, it's more aesthetic. Three, it's a more reliable source of power when we have storms for the businesses and people along that corridor. But getting 3 cable stations, 1 utility, working with water and sewer, and getting everything underground in one place where it can still be serviceable is a very expensive proposition, a very delicate proposition. The good news is a lot of that work is done on the side of the road rather than in the middle of the road. So we're pretty confident that, having worked with the public safety people, we'll be able to move through. Do you want to describe, Bill, what people will see in 18 to 24 months?
In 18 to 24 months, they're going to see a streetscape with a median down the center with trees, and be able to have a friendly welcome to Beaufort, as well as new street lighting, which will be, again, the major emphasis is on safety. That will be lighting on both sides of the road to make the 4 lanes, as the mayor said. The critical thing, and some, I'll say, misunderstanding as well, is some people are still convinced that rotaries are going in and that there's not only going to be 1 lane each way. You have to emphasize it's 2 lanes each way. There's no roundabouts or rotaries, whatever you want to call them. There will be turns at the traffic light at intersections where we want it. And basically you're going to see the layout so that development can occur, particularly on the one side of Boundary Street, where we've already have 1 hotel and several restaurants starting to rebuild or have plans to rebuild, which is a very important part of this whole project, is that we are basically estimating $150 million of investment in the next 18 to 24 months based on a cost of the road project of roughly $35 billion. So a 5-to-1 return on our investment, but probably the most important thing is that's going to create additional jobs. And that's one of the key things that we need in Beaufort, is jobs that are paying more than the minimal wage.
Right. Those who ride on 21 today know that there are probably, I'd defer to Bill for the numbers, but as many as 3 or 4 fender benders, because the intersections are confusing. People pull over into what they call the 5th lane, or some people call the suicide lane. They slam into each other, and all of a sudden the fire department is first responders, EMS is there. If the sheriff's department is around, they come to support the Beaufort City Fire Department. The principle in terms of traffic movement change will be the realignment of the intersection of Highway 170 and 21. At this point, you come in, and if you're coming from the south up to 170, you'll find that you have 3 turning options. If you're coming west, you'll find you have 3 turning options. If you're coming east, you're having 3 turning options. So have 9 turning options in one intersection is not safe, and it's not steady. So Highway 170 is going to curve a little short of the current intersection, and it will intersect Boundary Street, but right next to the new McDonald's. And if you're going to Walgreens, or if you're going to Chick-fil-A, or if you're going to any businesses within that first 3 blocks, the safer way to do it will be to come 170, cross Highway 21, and exit those buildings from the rear side. Fortunately, plans were made with all of those buildings when the newer ones were developed to allow this to happen. So that's going to create in itself a lot of left turns across fast-moving, steady traffic.
And also we see currently going on quite a bit of new development starting on 170, coming north. So the fact that that intersection from virtually 170 all the way through a down Boundary Street towards City Hall will be a new commercial area that's really developed to bring new types, again, as I said, of businesses, both commercial and retail, and it will basically, again, come back to establish some new jobs and improve the safety and the response time for our emergency management people.
Right. You know, one of the principal roles of any city infrastructure project is to incent, to encourage new businesses or the redevelopment of old businesses. And as of now, as Bill said, we've got one hotel, we've already got Starbucks, we've got another one going up next to it, the dead Red Lobster and it's Olive Garden are going to get a new life.
Right.
There are 46 down not Palmetto, Green Lawn Avenue. There will be there are 46 apartments under construction, affordable apartments, and the owner of adjacent property is talking about up to 140 additional properties. If you add that together against the $33 million investment, we're probably already at $7 to $10 million of result stimulated by the fact that we're going to have a new entrance to the downtown. So it's going to be an exciting project. The city manager is going to hold it. I get him confused because he is the other mayor, is going to be holding a lot of people's hands, but we'll all be ready to listen, work with people to make this one of the most exciting new ventures for the city of Beaufort. So thank you, Bill.
Thank you for having me.